presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Last year, the Tampa Bay Rays and Cincinnati Reds both celebrated a trip to the postseason by winning the AL East and National League Central, respectively. In 2011, both teams are once again in the hunt. Tampa Bay boasting one of the best rotations in baseball, and Cincinnati powered by the best offense in the National League. Tonight, they square off in an interleague showdown on Sun Sports. Tonight we welcome you to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. The Rays return home after a 6-game road trip, and tonight begin a 6-game stand here, the first club in, the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Todd Callis with us tonight again as well. Interleague baseball continuing tonight. The Rays off this great road trip, a supercharged offensive road trip, if you will, coming off scoring 14 runs yesterday in Houston, and they have been supercharged by the middle of the lineup, starting with Evan Longoria and B.J. Upton.
Yeah, those two guys getting hot is what everybody with the Rays is excited about. Evan Longoria, he ditches the batting gloves, and boy, did he have a heck of a series against the Astros. 8 out of 14, the 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. He also scored 6 runs. We saw an Evan Longoria much more aggressive at the plate, had a consistent approach, exactly what you're looking for from your big guy right in the middle of the lineup, and the Rays obviously hope that continues here against Reds pitching. And how about B.J. Upton? Talk about consistency. A home run in each ball game. Early, it was the game plan was to pound him in. He turned a couple of those around. And then in that last game, falling behind 2-0, knows he's going to get a fastball out over the plate, takes full advantage of it. He goes 5 for 12 in the series. The 3 home runs, the 7 RBIs, also had a couple of stolen bases. It's exactly what you need, and hopefully this is what jumpstarts the rest of that Rays offense.
Well, the Rays are 9-3 in interleague play, and they'll tangle with the top offense in the National League tonight. Cincinnati Reds leading the National League in runs scored.
Yeah, well, and you got Joey Votto. Joey Votto in the 3-hole. This is a guy that's fresh off the reigning National League MVP. Hit 37 home runs last year, drove in 113, and you see not much drop-off. The average 4th in the National League. A lot of walks. Obviously, that leads to the on-base percentage. He's also, in the top 10 in RBIs with 49. He's a guy that you just don't want to let Joey Votto beat you, and he's coming off a series in Baltimore where he went 4 for 12, hit a couple of home runs in that series, and drove in 6.
And you think of the Cincinnati ballpark as being a hitter's park. He's even better away from their home ballpark. Jeremy Hellickson will go to the mound tonight for the Rays, trying to stop this Cincinnati Reds lineup. And when we come back, Todd Callis will take a close look at the rookie right-hander, Jeremy Hellickson.
start of the year, had a ton of run support in his first 11, but not so much his last 3 as he gets ready for the Reds tonight to kick off a 3-game series. Hellickson has pitched very well here at Tropicana Field on the season. As he goes again tonight against the Reds, you see so far in 5 starts, a 2.52 ERA for Hellickson at home and a 183 opponent's batting average against. Hellickson will take on the Cincinnati Reds for the first time, and Mike Leake will be his opponent on the mound for Cincinnati. When you talk about our Coventry Healthcare pitching matchup, you'll see that Leake at 12 starts has a 6.4 mark and a 4.19 ERA. Hellickson with that ERA just above 3. We asked Jeremy about facing a team that's never seen him before and how he prepares any differently.
I'll go in and get their lineup up, and I know I've faced a few of their guys before, and they got a good lineup. So just kind of watch the video on our own and let Hick do his job and go from there.
So Hellickson's fired up. One thing that he said, though, is his changeup can be very much an effective pitch against a team that's never seen him before. We'll see how much he breaks it out today ahead of the count against the Reds. We're ready for baseball. It's Monday night. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson will have all the action in high definition next.
Tonight brought to you by AT&T. Autoway. Autoway is part of AutoNation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. And by Toyota. Moving forward. The Rays beat the Cincinnati Reds as interleague play continues tonight from Tropicana Field. The Rays have not seen this club since 2005 in Cincinnati, and they have not played them here at Tropicana Field since 2003. And here is the starting lineup put together by Dusty Baker. Fred Lewis leads off, followed by Brandon Phillips. Joey Votto, the number 3 hitter at first, and Scott Rowland will hit cleanup in front of Jay Bruce, the right fielder. Johnny Gomes, the former Ray, in the lineup. He'll be the DH. Ramon Hernandez will catch. Batting 8th in center field is Drew Stubbs. Paul Yanish is the shortstop, and he will bat 9th.
Now making his 15th start of the season, right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. 1 complete game. The record 7-6 ERA, just over 3. His last couple of times out, he has been involved in a couple of pitchers' duels. Was outdueled by Zach Greinke. In his last start, the previous start, outdueled by Josh Beckett. He'll be looking to get the upper hand tonight against Mike Leake.
There's Joe Madden, the Rays skipper, coming off this 5-1 interleague road trip. And Dusty Baker, fourth season as the skipper of the Cincinnati Reds. They were 91-71 last year. And here's Fred Lewis, the left fielder. First pitch of the game is fouled right back. He went after the opening fastball, and that's a strike. Lewis at 267 with a home run and 10 runs batted in. The Rays saw him when he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. A little bit wide.
Yeah, that first pitch of the ball game, he brought that Toronto Blue Jay approach. Come out swinging. And you'll see a lot of teams do that off Jeremy Hellickson.
Well, word gets around about a pitcher like Hellickson. A bunt attempt is fouled, 1-2, and they're not of a mind where they want to fall behind a guy who can deliver the changeup the way he does.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you know, we've from time to time highlighted that differential in the first two pitches and anything after. Well, the disparity is actually growing. You know, you look at first two pitches again now, teams are hitting 376. Anything after the first two, just 133. And 7 of the 9 home runs he's given up have been on the first two pitches.
1-2 delivery upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So experience tells us that the deeper the count goes, the better off that is for Hellickson. And that's just the reverse of what is usually the case for a pitcher.
Yeah, and it's because Hellickson will throw his pitches to both sides of the plate. He gets deep into a count, moves the ball around.
2 is pop foul, a changeup. Had him out in front a little bit, and he fouls it out of play.
Yeah, you know, he may start off an at-bat with a fastball away and then a changeup. And once you start getting into the count, all of a sudden he'll throw one in and then a changeup in, then maybe a fastball back out away. He really does a nice job of mixing and matching his pitches and the locations he throws them.
2-2 again. And a base hit back through the middle. So Lewis singles into center field to start this game.
Now let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind Jeremy tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Sam Fuld, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Kochman. John Jaso behind the plate.
Brandon Phillips, a National League All-Star last year, steps in, hitting out of the second spot. And he's riding a little 6-game hitting streak coming in. Pitch, and that's in there. Runner at first and nobody out. The Reds are a game over 500 at 40-39. Sharing third place with Pittsburgh in the National League Central. They're 4 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitch darts down, breaking ball.
I would expect, too, with a hitter like Brandon Phillips, I would expect Jeremy Hellickson to feature a lot of off-speed, especially the changeup against Phillips. Number 1, he's very aggressive. Number 2, you see that bat waving back and forth. It's the guys who are really still that have the best chance against Jeremy Hellickson's changeup. And there's a lot of movement, a lot of timing involved in your mechanics. That's where that changeup can really exploit your weaknesses.
He takes the changeup too close. 2-1. The Reds, for about a month to 6 weeks, have more or less been treading water over in the National League. Outstanding offense. They lead the league with runs scored, 383. They're 14th in team earned run average, however. Over to first, and Lewis is back in.
And you look at the overall team numbers of the Cincinnati Reds, and it becomes quite apparent very quickly that they are an offensive team. They win and die by what they're able to do from the batter's box. Any kind of pitching whatsoever, and going to be a solid ball club because they are right at the top of the league in just about every offensive category.
Well, there you see they've got a pretty good lead in runs scored over St. Louis and Arizona in the National League.
They'll draw walks, they'll hit homers.
Phillips takes a pitch inside.
Oh, that's exactly what we've seen with Jeremy Hellickson, with Brandon Phillips attacking him with the off speed. We saw the curveball and then a few changeups. The problem is right now just not commanding it.
Now, when you look at the Reds, you're talking about their offense. They're second in on-base percentage, and they lead the league in home runs. So that's enough said right there. They're going to score some runs.
Yes.
Now the 3-1, a big swing and a miss. Came in with a fastball 3-1 that time.
Well located fastball. Brandon Phillips, 3-1 count. Watch him pull off this pitch. Right on the corner. Look at that front hip open up. He's trying to jack. Just pulls off. Jeremy gets the strike.
Lewis at first, a full count on Phillips. Lewis is on the move, and the ball is hit deep to center field. Upton's going to have to go back, still on the track, and it's going to be out of his reach. It will one hop to the wall, and they're going to wave the runner home. Lewis will score standing on a double to center field by Phillips, and Cincinnati takes a 1-0 lead.
Brandon Phillips right here does get the changeup, and look where this thing ends up. Middle. Brandon Phillips makes solid contact. Anytime you get a fly ball over the head of B.J. Upton when he's running like that, you got a hold of it. Put a good solid swing on it. Really drove that ball. Fred Lewis and his speed, he scores easily.
Now here's Joey Votto. He's fourth in the National League in hitting. And the pitch is a strike. First pitch fastball. .11 homers and 49 runs batted in for Votto, and he leads the National League hitting with runners in scoring position. He's got one at second right now with nobody out. He's hitting .435 with runners in scoring position. That's a strike. 0-2 fastball there. And that would be the National League leaders with the runners on and in scoring position.
Well, it makes sense. That is a clutch player statistic right there, and this is your reigning National League most valuable player. Put up huge numbers last year.
Back to the runner in the 0-2. Down and in around his feet. A nice pickup by Jaso.
Jeremy Hellickson right now, the command not quite where he wants it to be. He yanked that fastball in, but I do like him going with the back-to-back fastballs. You know what makes the changeup so effective is the establishing of the fastball. I think that's where he got into a little trouble with Brandon Phillips. Threw him so many off speed that Phillips only saw really one fastball in that at bat.
Time called. 1-2 to Votto. Hit 37 home runs last year. There will be the MVP numbers on him. Leading the National League in slugging percentage and on base percentage a year ago. That ball in on him, a little liner down to third, and caught by Longoria. No chance to double up Phillips, who ducks back in at second.
Hellickson here comes with the fastball again, gets it in there nicely. You see how it really tied up Votto on that swing. Just really got in there. Just a soft little looper to Evan down there at third. That's a clutch pitch.
Brings up Scott Rowland, 35-year-old third baseman. Out in front and over the changeup, strike one. A foul back. So a changeup and a fastball, 2 strikes. Scott Rowland had some shoulder and neck issues early on the disabled list at the end of April. 8-time Gold Glove winner. He won last year. Ground ball third. Longoria now goes to first. The throw is low, but it's picked up by Kochman. And Longoria bobbled it and actually had Phillips almost running right at him. And Rowland is out at first as Longoria decided to go that way.
Yeah, Phillips couldn't make his mind up what he wanted to do. Hard hit ground ball. And Evan just play he typically makes pretty clean. Just bounced out. He was able to recover and get the out. But you watch Phillips right here. He's going to go. Yeah, if Evan peeks down there towards second, I think they got a real chance to get him in a rundown, get him out. The problem was he was too worried about getting the out after the clank.
Jay Bruce, the pitch is down.
It's like being a quarterback. You know, you bounce that ball out of your glove, and then you're trying to recover, get it to make a throw, and that internal clock is going off in your head, and you realize I got to get this and get it over there if I have any chance at an out. Not even worried about Phillips. Didn't have time.
Bruce takes a firm fastball for a strike. Bruce, the 4th leading home run hitter in the National League with 17. 274.
And he can thank that to the month of May. He was the NL Player of the Month and hit 12 in May.
Two balls and a strike. But he's got some pop. He's a big strikeout guy. But he also is a power guy.
They need somebody to step in for Adam Dunn.
Yeah, he was both of those. There's a line drive and a base hit into right against the shift. That's going to score Phillips. And it's 2-0 Cincinnati as Jay Bruce drives in his 50th run of the year. A 2-run first for the Reds.
Well, here it is. Changeup off the end of the bat, but like you said, a lot of power, very strong to be able to go out that far, get it off the end of the bat, and then pull it against the shift and get it past the outstretched arms of Ben Zobrist right there and into right field.
And Johnny Gomes steps in. He's the DH, and Gomes got a nice applause as he prepares to bat for the first time in this game. Gomes takes the pitch, and that's in there, strike one. So 2 runs, 3 hits for Cincinnati.
And 2 of the hits off changeups. Brandon Phillips saw a steady diet and got one, and Jay Bruce got the other.
Liner back into left. Bull cutting to his left. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. 2 runs, 3 hits, a man left. Rays coming in to hit, down by 2. Runs down. Joe Madden will put his lineup out there this way. The DH is going to be Johnny Damon leading off, followed by Ben Zobrist and Evan Longoria. Matt Joyce hits cleanup. Casey Kochman at first with B.J. Upton in center field. John Jaso bats seventh in front of the left fielder Sam Pold. Reed Brignac is the shortstop. He'll hit ninth.
Well, making his 13th start of the season, right-hander Mike Lee. You can see he's had 3 appearances out of the bullpen. That came in the early to middle part of May. He then went down for a 2-game stint at Louisville. And since he's come back, he's thrown the ball very well. He's 3-2 with a 2.85 in the 6 starts since returning.
So the right-hander out of Fallbrook, California, to Arizona State. The first pitch is low and outside. A ball and no strikes. Two and nothing. A little more trouble against lefties than right-handers. Damon rolls it foul. 2-1, and Johnny Damon got into the act in that series in Houston. Damon yesterday with 4 hits, so he's 72nd on the list, 3 behind Ted Williams. Popper foul the other way, so it's a 2-2 count. Take it to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Mike Leake, the right-hander, he's got a good sinker, ground ball pitcher. Features the fastball. He'll cut it. Slider, curveball, changeup. Throws them all.
There's a foul ball. If you get a guy who can break that pitch into you as a left-handed hitter, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to foul 1 or 2 off your feet.
And that's exactly what he does. It's not been effective. His command hasn't been there, but you're right, Dwayne. He's got the cutter moving in, the sinker moving away.
Oh, bouncing ball, foul right there.
And we've seen a couple of those cutters really get in on the hands of Johnny Damon. So you're worried about Leake's sinker. You know, he lines himself up way over on the first base side of the rubber in order to maximize that sink to the outside corner, and easier for him to get that cutter in.
And there is strike 3 call. Damon out on strikes looking.
And how about that? He throws the sinker away, the cutter in, the sinker away, the cutter in, and then how about the sinker in? Gives up on it. Johnny Damon thinking that cutter coming in on the hands. He gives up on it. This sinks right back, catches the inner third. Good pitch. That's called setting a hitter up.
Now Ben Zobrist steps in. Takes the pitch a little bit inside. 1-0. Two and 0 the count. Two balls, no strikes. There it is, a called strike, 2-1. Leake out of Arizona State and went right to the major leagues. It's now 3-1. He was 8-4 last year with Cincinnati. 22 starts. Just over 138 innings and gave up 158 hits. And there's a hit up the right side headed toward the corner. Bruce will play the carom. Zobrist around second, and they're going to stop him there. Ben had an idea about 3. He was taking a peek at Tom Foley as he was heading into second base. Stopped there with his 26th double of the year. He'll take over the American League lead in doubles with this one.
Now Mike Leake just trying to throw a strike here in a bad count. Ben Zobrist just reaches out, gets it into the corner. See him round right here, and he's got a real chance. But little indecision right there cost him. play it safe, stay at second base. You're still out in scoring position here for Evan Longoria, who's coming off that huge series in Houston and is red hot.
Evan hitting .253 now. Takes the pitch down, a ball and no strikes. Well, he comes out of Houston with 3 home runs in the series and 10 runs batted in. At 14 RBIs on the road trip. And the Rays won 5 out of 6. Under it and pops it up. Big league hop up. And Scott Rowland coming in from third base. The Gold Glove third baseman. 2 gone.
Now let's take a look at the Cincinnati defense as it lines up tonight. Left to right in the outfield, Fred Lewis, Drew Stubbs, and Jay Bruce. Across the infield, third to first, Scott Rowland, Paul Janisch, Brandon Phillips, and Joey Votto. Ramon Hernandez will be handling the catching duties.
So Matt Joyce steps in here. He's going to take a 2-out hit to get the run home. Phillips shaded toward the hole, and the shortstop Janisch shaded toward the middle. And this pitch is popped up. Janisch under this one and makes the catch. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We're through an inning, 2-0 Cincinnati. Club won the National League Central last year, finishing ahead of the Cardinals with 91 wins and 71 losses, and then ran into Roy Halladay.
Yeah, Roy Halladay, I mean, what can you say? Playoff game, go out there and do what he did. That was an exciting ball game to watch, just moving the ball around, doing what he does. Sink it, cut it. How about this? Avoid the bat and have to make that play.
Roy Halladay. Don Larson, his perfect game in 1956, the only other no-hitter in postseason history in the major leagues, and Roy Halladay, who had no-hitter against Cincinnati last year. And he picked a pretty good club. I mean, they led the league last year, as they do this year, in a number of offensive categories. Ball 1 to Ramon Hernandez. They led the National League in home runs and in runs scored on a per game basis. The league in hitting, but not against Roy Halladay.
And in that setting, I mean, a no-hitter in the big leagues, how special. I mean, that's something that rare enough in the postseason. Unbelievable.
Hellickson with a fastball. Balls behind in the count here to Hernandez. 3 balls, no strikes. a strike.
Well, if there was one concern about Jeremy Hellickson, we broke down, in the pregame talking about his first 11 starts were so very good. His last 3, he's lost all 3. Well, he's only really pitched poorly in one of those starts, and that was in Baltimore. But it's that his walks have started to go up, strikeouts have come way down.
And the 3-1 pitch is lifted deep to center. Will Upton have room? He's feeling for the wall, and he makes the catch. BJ got back there on the track and started to extend that right arm to get a sense of how far he had left before he hit the wall, and he makes that catch.
Well, when he's going back that far, usually it's in a full sprint. He knows where the wall is based on his stride, but you're right, Dwayne. He's kind of drifting, then reach, jump and catch.
1 away. There's Drew Stubbs. Takes a strike. Stubbs with 11 home runs. He's the top strikeout guy in the National League with 105 strikeouts. Hitting .254. He has some power. He has some speed. Lines it out of play, foul down the left side. Take a look at what you're talking about here with regard to Hellickson.
Well, you see the first 11, the last 3. It's right here. Right here. Strikeouts per 9, 6.3 to 3.4. That's almost 3 strikeouts per 9 innings less. And then, of course, you see the 3.5 to 4.3. The walks have started to creep up a little bit. Those were the numbers I'd be concerned about, not so much the 0-3. See the run support, not a whole lot of that. And really, like I said, only one bad start.
And Stubbs is out on strikes, missed the curveball. That's the first strikeout for Hellickson tonight.
Well, this is a good curveball here by Hellickson. See that ball start up above the knees and then really bottom out right to the dirt.
Now there's Giannis, the shortstop. Pitch to him is over but low. A fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Shoots it toward the gap. Right center field. BJ's going to cut it off. Yanni started to make a big turn and then hesitated. Kind of slipped for just a second there as Upton holds him to a single.
Now that's exactly how you do it. Giannis right there with that base hit out into right center field. You leave the batter's box with the idea you're going for 2 all the time. Force the defense to make a play, make a throw. Hard out of the box makes the hard turn. There's a little slip you're talking about, Dwayne, but he forced the throw in by BJ. And what you do is you force the defender to have to come up with the ball like that, turn and throw it in. No lollipop. Aggressive style of baseball from Dusty Baker's squad.
Top of the order again. Fred Lewis takes it low. Yanni Shabord on the 2-out single.
And I guess that's to be expected. Your team's going to be aggressive if your manager wears wristbands and chews on a toothpick all the time. I mean, and you can forget the toothpick, but how about the wristbands?
Yep.
They activate themselves.
Well, something's working. That postseason trip last year, it's the 4th division championship for Dusty Baker with 3 different teams. Longtime manager of the Giants, of course. Went to the postseason twice with them, once with the Cubs and once with Cincinnati.
That's where I got all of my experience playing against Dusty Baker with the Diamondbacks. He was, of course, with the Giants, and he was the one manager that when I would face his ball club, I knew that because he didn't want me to be able to get the fastball away and establish that and then be able to have that changeup come into play, he would stagger his lineup. So he would go lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, all the way down the lineup. So it would continue to force me to move to each side of the plate for each hitter. Made it difficult.
Pitch pitch a little bit wide. It's 3 balls and no strikes. So kind of a personal as well as a professional irritant.
Yes, he was. I mean, because you would have those lineups that would come out 9 righties. Okay, fine. Let me establish my fastball down and away, pop a few in, change up. You'd run right through them. Well, all of a sudden, if everybody was staggered, it forced you, okay, fastball down and away, arm side one time, glove side the next. Made it difficult.
And that fastball missed for ball 4. A couple of pitches close in there. So he kept the ball away and walks Lewis.
He continues to work Lewis away. These pitches just off the plate. Jim Hickey coming out to encourage his young starter. Give up a 2-out hit and then a walk. You want to make sure that you're making that second swing through the lineup and you're starting to get into that danger zone. You got Phillips, then Votto, then Roland. You don't want this game to get out of hand early.
Yeah, and he made 25 pitches in the first, and so here he is at 40 pitches now, an inning and 2/3 in. And he's going to have to deal with Brandon Phillips.
Yeah.
So,
and we saw what he did in his last at bat.
Absolutely. He had a changeup all the way back into center field over Upton's head. So a big spot in this game already. Rays down 2-0, and the Reds have 2 men on base. This developing with 2 outs. And the big cut. Phillips was thinking about long ball there, ready to try to jack one out.
Well, where
he got the change.
Yeah, when he stayed on it in that first at bat. Right here, you're right, Dwayne. He is looking to make this a 5-run lead. Pulls way off.
Fastball in a bit. Fouled away, and the count is 2 strikes.
Well, that's a pitch that Brandon Phillips wanted to drive, and it was in a spot where he really could have turned on that pitch. However, the changeup before slows him down just a little bit. You throw that changeup, he's way out in front, so now he sits back just a tick longer, and that fastball ends up beating him just a hair. When that was a good pitch to drive.
Ball, change up, fastball in, curveball, and Phillips is out on strikes. Reds lead 2. Ball game moves to the home half of the inning. It's 2-0 Cincinnati.
High school product Casey Kochman, beginning of the year, wasn't even with the team, then wasn't playing every day because Dan Johnson was here. So even though he's hitting so well with that .343 average, he hasn't qualified yet for the top 10 in the American League in hitting. As you can see, he needs 21 more plate appearances, and he has to average more than 3.1 plate appearances per team game to qualify. Right now, he'd be second to only Adrian Gonzalez.
All of that, and he's leading off here in the bottom of the second inning, taking a breaking ball down. 1 ball, no strikes. Kochman, Upton, and Jaso. Casey, valuable to the club for the offense, but his ultimate value is the defense that he can give the Rays at first, and the fact that he's hitting enough to be in there every day. Well, he's hitting more than enough to be in there every day.
That was the
strike, 2-1.
Yeah, that was the one thing that Rays knew that they were getting, was the defense, and the fact that he can pick it over there, and really good hands.
He comes in with strike 2.
The offense has been the pleasant surprise, and it's not just like you said, offense enough to keep him in the lineup. I mean, this guy got a chance to go right to the head of the board here with a few more at-bats, and he's been doing it. You know, you could see the confidence grow too, because early in the season it was a lot of, you know, singles and moving the ball the other way and some ground ball hits. He had a bunch of infield hits, but boy, as of late, he's been driving the baseball to both, you know, both gaps, left center, right center.
The other thing he does is what he just did with that last pitch. He takes this one on the inside corner while just picking up the strike zone. But he has defeated a lot of pitches. He fouled that last pitch away before taking the called third strike.
Yeah, he just got frozen right there with a perfect fastball on the inside corner. And you're right, Dwayne. Casey Kochman is a very good hitter with 2 strikes. And if he gets a pitch that's close, he usually takes a swing at it, tries to foul it off, spoil it a little bit. But that's called, when they talk about locking a hitter up, freezing a guy, that's it.
Jay Upton, pitch down and away. Mike Leake showing the fastball in the low 90s, 91, 92. The strike. Cutter in the upper 80s. BJ takes a big cut and misses right there on a pitch moving away from him.
And where a lot of right-handed pitchers and vice versa, left-handed pitchers will not throw the cutter, the same side batter, Leake will. And that was a front go, well, no, that was just a four-seamer, but he will throw the cutter to righties. You see a lot of that in on the lefties. We saw it with Johnny Damon.
In fact, there are times when he'll throw that cutter more times to a right-handed hitter in a game than he will just the regular fastball.
Yeah.
He strikes out Upton. He had that little movement away with that one. 3 strikeouts now for Mike Leake.
Well, he's got a very good cutter, and that's why he uses it so much. He uses it against the lefties to try to take that ball from the barrel of the bat to the handle. He uses it against the righties to try to take that ball from the barrel of the bat to the end of the bat. Either way, you get the bad contact, you break a lot of bats, you get a lot of easy outs.
John Jaso, swing and a miss. It's a strike. There's one down the right field line, but it is a foul ball. Joe West tracking that one all the way from his perch at first base. Jaso had a good look right down the line, and it was foul. A long strike, and the count is 0-2. There's another one. Same spot. And that one is foul. Only a little deeper that time.
They almost went back wall. Well, they tried to come in there with that same fastball they got Kochman on. Look at Jaso throw those hands through quick. That ball was blistered.
The 0-2 pitch is away. Outside, 2-2. It was key for Leake to get through the first inning. This starting staff for the Reds collectively having a difficult time in the first. The team ERA is over 6.60 in the first inning. And the Rays left a man at second base in the first. Zobrist doubled with one out and was stranded there. Second. Phillips up with it. His toss to first. The Rays are up and down. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball. On to the third. 2-0 Cincinnati.
Nothing. Fans, be sure to tune in on Friday, July the 1st for the 2011 Rays broadcast auction to benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Tampa General Hospital Children's Medical Center. Rays will auction off one-of-a-kind experiences with your favorite Rays players, including hitting lessons with Johnny Damon, exclusive ticket packages, a trip to the All-Star Game, and more. And in fact, you can go on the website tomorrow, raysbaseball.com/auctions, and get a preview of the auction items and also purchase tickets to the Rays Summer Social, Joe Madden's Summer Social.
Votto going after the first pitch and popping it into shallow left. It'll be handled by Sam Fuld for the out. Yeah, it's a good idea to go on there as soon as they become available. There are a limited number of those for Joe Madden's Summer Social. They're going to limit them to just 200. And that's turned out to be a great event. And they're first come, first serve. So as soon as they go on sale on the website, grab them.
You may want to hurry because Dwayne and I have it in. It's already down to 190. We have friends.
Scott Rowland takes the pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. So hurry. Just a limited number remaining. It's a strike, and the count is 1-1.
And so that starts tomorrow. So we may need to get a time for him later in the ball game. This could be one of those where people start to line up. Black Friday, if you will.
Yeah, it's raysbaseball.com/auctions. Broadcast auction. Got to put the broadcast in there now. That'll be available tomorrow. It's outside. 2-2. Well, you get a chance to spend time with Joe Madden and the players. We like to slip in there with the advance tickets that we get a chance to buy.
Well, that's why we buy them, so people talk to us. We pay for their ticket.
Yeah, we're gonna have somebody to have a conversation.
Hey, listen, I was there last year. Okay, I went to that last year, and I might as well have been wallpaper. So now
it's great.
I mean for me. So that's why I'm buying those tickets. People come, and now I can glad hand. I look like I know people.
3-2 is shot up the right side. That's going to be foul. Well,
I know how to play the game now.
Yeah, you've always known that. It's just instinctive.
This is just a different game.
They're all the same. 3-2 the count here to Scott Rowland. And a cut and a miss. He's out of there. Second strikeout for Hellickson. 2 up, 2 down here in the third.
Well, that's an impressive pitch by Jeremy Hellickson. He's able to command that changeup to the other side of the plate. Look at that. Although the way John Jason was reaching for it, I don't know if he wanted it to the other side of the plate, but regardless, it was effective.
And now Jay Bruce, 24-year-old outfielder. Fouls it back. The Rays have the shift on for him. Zobrist in short right field.
There's Ben there. He was able to get that base hit to Ben's right in his last at bat that drove in the Reds' second run.
It's a cut at a fastball and fouls it back. 0-2. Hellickson made 43 pitches through the first 2 innings. Retired the first 2 men in the third, as he did in the second before he ran into a little bit of a jam, but got out of that one. 2-strike pitch. Just a piece of it toward the on-deck circle where Johnny Gomes was taking a practice cut. Took a swing at that one. Proving it just how much he loves to swing the bat. Two-strike pitch again. Low. The other thing about the recent starts from Hellickson, he hasn't got any support at all to speak of. Before those first 11 starts, he was getting 7.5 runs or better support. Over half a run in the last 3 starts for him. Roller picked up by Zobrist in short right. They throw him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds. 2-0 Cincinnati. bottom of the third. Cincinnati with a couple first inning runs. And don't forget, in the game tonight and all season, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Sam Fold will lead it off here for the Rays in the bottom of the third. Pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Sam at 241. Well, he had that breakout first month, then he struggled. He's been good in the month of June. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Two balls and a strike. 324 for the month of June. Sam Fold. Now 3 balls and a strike.
And when Sam Fold is productive with the bat, it makes the Rays a much better team. Defensively, having his glove out there, he's aggressive on the base paths.
Fouls it off his foot. So the count's 3-2. That 3-1 cutter, and the dogs are barking.
That, you know, the left-handed hitter, they see that ball out over the plate. Their eyes, they see it coming in. Tells them where to swing. They go to swing. There's that late cutting action just a little bit, and all of a sudden, instead of off the barrel, it's a little bit further down, and you'll yank it right into your foot.
Foul the other way. It's headed out of play. Mike Leake on the mound for Cincinnati. He broke camp. He started the season in the starting rotation because of injuries. And Homer Bailey and Johnny Cueto, who's going to pitch tomorrow, both on the disabled list. This one rolled to Phillips at second, and he makes the play easily. 1 away. So Leake was in the rotation and made the couple of relief appearances, and then was optioned to Louisville in the middle of May. Made a couple of appearances down there and came back to the Reds. He was hoping and actually planning, once he had made the club, he had a chance to be one of those guys. There's a strike to Brignac, who would never play in the minor leagues. He came right from Arizona State. Was with the Reds last year. Did not play in the minors. Roller. Phillips has this one in the toss. But he got sit down, and so he's got at least a few days of minor league experience under his belt.
Yeah, just over 7 innings down there, and since he's come back, he's thrown the ball extremely well. He's had 6 starts, 3-2 with a 2.85. Now, the 2 losses were in his last 2 starts, and they were both against American League East teams. He lost to Toronto, lost to New York, and in those starts, his ERA was approaching 5, but the first 4 back, he was lights out.
Johnny Damon takes a pitch down. Damon went to 3-2, extended the at bat to 8 pitches. Was called out on strikes on a pitch in on him in the first inning on the corner.
That was a really good sequence by Leake. He was going with the cutters in, the sinkers away, deep into the count, and all of a sudden threw that 4-seam with a little bit of run on the inside corner, and Johnny Damon locked up.
Johnny's ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. There you go. The last outing was Wednesday against the Yankees. Prior to that, against the Blue Jays, and a total of 7 runs allowed in those 2 starts. A little popper. Phillips out from second will handle it. The Rays are up and down 1-2-3. On to the 4th, 2-0 Cincinnati.
Field tonight. The Reds leading 2-0 as we head to the fourth. Now, the second longest home run ever hit at Tropicana Field landed right about here and actually rolled on top of the Batter's Eye restaurant and ended up right around here. They used to have the lineups posted here. Let's take a look at that. 474 feet. Ended up being a walk-off home run against the Tigers and Troy Percival July 9th of 2005. Ended a long losing streak for the Rays. And to this day, Gomes still very upset by the people that measure home runs here that he does not have the longest home run, which belongs to Vinny Castilla at 478 feet. But not bad, guys. 474 from Gomes about 6 years ago, gentlemen.
And here he is to lead off the fourth inning in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. Welcome back by some of the fans dating back to the 05 season when he hit that tape measure home run. He lifts a high fly ball into left on the first pitch. Vold is all the way back to the wall, and that ball is a home run. It hit the catwalk out there and then came back down. And so on the first pitch here in the fourth, Johnny Gomes has hit a home run, his 11th of the year, and that's going to make it 3-0.
Well, when they tell you that a hitter will let you know, Johnny Damon let everybody know on that. He got a curveball, a hanger, wants it away, stays middle in. That is well struck. And the reaction, he knows it.
Ramon Hernandez takes a pitch, and that's off the plate away. 1 ball, no strikes. The 10th home run of the year given up by Hellickson. Two and 0. So 2 runs in the first. Run here in the fourth inning with Gomes hitting it out. Balls and a strike. Miss 2-2. 3 runs, 5 hits surrendered by Hellickson with a walk and a couple strikeouts in the mix. Cutting a miss. Hernandez out on strikes. Got him with a changeup.
Yeah, a couple of good ones. Strike 2 away. And strike 3, he caught a lot of plate, but fooled him with the speed change. Watch him really pull off this way out in front.
Stubbs goes after this one and bounces it foul for a strike. Stubbs struck out, missed a curveball his first time, striking out for the 106th time this year. One and one to count. Stubbs out of the University of Texas. Pitch is low, 2-1. He was born in Atlanta, but it's Atlanta, Texas. Then went to school in Austin. Got to the big leagues with the Reds in 09 at 267. 22 home runs last year, and this is another Off-speed pitch, change up. Count is 2-2. Delivery. Foul the other way. Fastball. Stubbs, a first-round pick. 26 years old. And the pitch just missed a bit in. And a full count. Bat will take care of Stubbs for the second time. Out on strikes again, missed the change. 2 gone, 2 strikeouts following the home run.
This is where Hellickson can be very effective with that changeup. His ability to throw it glove side to the right-handers. You're already more than likely to get a hitter out in front on the changeup. When you keep it away from them, not only are they out in front, but now they're way out in front because that ball's tracking away, and they miss it by a ton.
Well, Yanish takes a pitch away. He singled his first time. Missed that one by plenty out there.
Now that's
what you're talking about.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about it. When you throw a fastball out there, guys a lot of times pull off of it. That's why you get rollover ground balls and, you know, little dink chinks and pop-ups. You take 10 miles an hour off that pitch, they're way out in front.
2-1. Ball. 2-2. It's wide. 3-2. Yanish is a teammate of the Rays' Jeff Neiman on the 2003 team at Rice University. That NCAA championship team. Three and 2. Ground ball to third, and it gets away from Longoria. Backed up by Brignac, but no play. And so Longoria had a little trouble with a ground ball in the first inning. Commits an error here on the roller off the bat of the Cincinnati shortstop.
Yeah, that's just a routine ground ball. You will not see that very often. Evans started to get his footwork going towards making the throw before he had secured the ball.
So Yanish is aboard at first on the error. First one of the ball game tonight. Here's Fred Lewis, top of the order, up for the third time. And he lines a base hit, one hop through the right side. Yanish will go to third. The throw's towards second, a single for Lewis. And now with 2 outs, the Reds threaten further.
Fred Lewis continuing with that aggressive approach. He's not waiting around. He gets this changeup right out over the plate, right on it. That ball was elevated. He saw it well, like he knew it was coming. He rifled that ball. Yanish has to jump, get out of the way. And now here with 2 outs, the Reds, another opportunity.
Now Brandon Phillips. throw to first, corralled by Kochman. Pitch is foul back. Phillips came into the game hitting .291. He doubled in the first run. He followed a base hit by Lewis in the first with a double to center field. Janish at third, Lewis at first. It's low, covered up by Jaso. 1-1. The Reds have 6 hits, 3 runs in the top of the 4th. Rays have managed just 1 hit through 3 innings. And Hellickson, with the exception of the 3rd, has had to try to pitch his way out of a couple jams, including here with 2 outs in the 4th. Line drive into left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Giannis scores. Lewis stops at second. Phillips driving in his second run of the game, and it's 4-0.
Now that innocuous error by Evan Longoria with 2 outs. Get Paul Giannis award, and the Reds have capitalized. Back-to-back hits. This changeup down, but Brandon Phillips, a nice job of going down and getting that pitch. And he really rifles this out to left field. Reds tack on.
It's going to bring Jim Hickey, the Rays pitching coach, out of the dugout and to the mound. One of those nights where the Reds jumped to a 2-0 lead, and they've managed to score a couple more here in this inning.
Well, it's the command. It's Jeremy Hellickson's command. He's just not locating the fastball and changeup consistently. You'll see it. You'll see glimpses of it from time to time. We've seen a couple good changeups down and away to the righties, but a lot of pitches are staying out over the plate and very hittable.
Now he has to face Joey Votto, who takes a vicious cut at that first pitch fastball. Strike 1.
And that was one of them. I mean, that was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that was right down the middle. Very fortunate that that swing didn't do some damage.
Votto is lined to third, hit a fly ball into left field in the 3rd, caught by Sam Fuld. The shift is on, and he lifts a fly ball into left center. Fuld and Upton, and it's going to be BJ to make the catch, retiring the side. Well, it was a home run by Johnny Gomes to start the 4th, and before the inning was over, the Reds had added another run, and they lead 4-0 middle of the 4th. Head into the bottom of the fourth inning. Let's take a quick look at tonight's Toyota Inside Look and compare what the Rays have done home and away. They're at the 500 mark, have not been over 500 at home all year. And look at the runs per game. 5.2 on the road, 10 full games over 500, and 3.2 runs per game at home. And this game, we're seeing signs of the same thing.
It's really hard to explain because this is a building not easy for visitors to come play it.
1-0 the count to Ben Zobrist. Well, that was one of the mantras that we heard from Joe Madden, making this place a positive force for the Rays. A decided home field advantage, but that has not been the case this year.
And yet you go out on a road from hotel to hotel, city to city, and they play great baseball.
Bouncing ball out to second. Phillips with an underhanded toss, and Zobrist is the first out in the bottom of the fourth.
And really, you're getting to the point now that the sample size is large enough that you would have expected those numbers. Obviously, the team got off to a terrible start, lost their first, 0 for home, the first homestand to go out on the road, and there was some disparity there because there was nothing going on with the offense at that point. But you figured that gap would start to close down a little bit. But here you are approaching the All-Star break, and it's still a pretty wide margin, the difference.
Evan Longoria. And the pitch is a strike. And Joe Madden through the early part of the year said he just couldn't figure it out. Joe figures a lot of things out. But he was stumped by this, and I think that's still pretty much the case. Longoria bounces one to third. Scott Rowland handles that. So 2 outs. And let's see what Todd's thinking about this. Todd?
The disparity is so great, guys, that if the Rays get shut out 27 consecutive times on the road, they'll still have a higher average per game on the road than at home. So that's the difference, how big it is.
And Todd spent his entire flight back from Houston figuring that out last night. Yeah, this guy's working all the time.
And I'm going to tell you that tidbit right there was worth it. 27 straight shutouts. That's hard to imagine.
I saw him. He was like wadding up pieces of paper and throwing that one out, scribbling down. What about 25 times?
I thought it was just snowing on the plane.
Yeah. 25 shutouts in a row. Cross it out, throw it away. 26. Let's see if that works. 27 would be the magic number. There's a base hit up the right side by Joyce. Back toward the corner. Bobbled by Bruce. Joyce was on his way to second, and he will stop there as Bruce recovered. So Matt Joyce comes up with the second Rays hit. A 2-base hit, his 18th double of the year.
Now, in the way that this game is going, really believe the Rays got to take advantage of this. This is a cutter that doesn't quite get in enough, and Matt Joyce is able to barrel that ball and get it down into the corner. Leak wanted that pitch in another couple of inches.
So here is Casey Kochman.
Well, you got to chip into that lead right here. Send a message that you're not.
The pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Kochman, one of the 3 strikeouts posted by Leak tonight. The only one swinging. High. 2-0. Trying to break through and get into the scoring column. Kochman takes ball 3 outside. Boy, for a guy who for a long time had that eye issue, and he said it appeared as if he were looking through a dirty windshield. Kochman makes great contact, and he tracks this one low for a ball, and he draws the walk. First and second now with 2 outs. They have pretty good eyes to take that pitch. And that's ball 4, but that was a good pitch.
It was a good pitch and could have gone either way, but in a 3-0 count, you're looking for your pitch. More than likely, hitters, they're looking for that fastball out over the plate where they can really drive it.
Yeah,
that wasn't worth swinging at. You'll take that to go 3-1.
Absolutely, that's why he took it. But the point on that being a good pitch is that the umpire called it a strike, or called it a ball instead of a strike. And here's a pop-up. Going to be handled by Phillips, and that retires the side. No runs, 2 men left for the Rays. They do not score and trail. Can't field, and it's time for our AT&T trivia question. What would be Tampa Bay's best all-time interleague record in a single season? Rays have been playing very well this year, and our AT&T trivia question: what's the best they've had in a single season? Right now, the Rays have the best interleague record for the year, 9-3. The list of clubs at 8-4, but the Rays coming off a 5-1 interleague road trip, 9-3 this year. Scott Rowland fouls the fastball back. That's a strike. Rowland has struck out and grounded out to third his first time. Cut, bounds it back. You know, Rowland's been a strong hitter his entire career. He always reminded me of the pitching version of the Tom Seaver, you know, that drop and drive. Boy, this guy takes great cuts, and they are labor intensive.
Yes, he doesn't get cheated. He's a very strong man with a power stroke. Very intense.
Ball, 2 strikes.
But you're right, he drops right down there and just quick with the hands. Very quick with the hands. Over 300 home runs. And how about for being such a big guy? Pretty good third baseman. I mean, this is the gold standard down there in the National League.
And he's out on strikes. Took a big cut at the changeup. That's the first out here in the 5th.
Well, the one plus for Jeremy Hellickson is when you get that quick hands and that big swing going, it's tough to hold up. And that's the one pitch that Hellickson has had pretty good command of, is the changeup down and away to the righty. You need to have that fastball follow suit if he wants to hang in this game much longer.
The first pitch is line foul by Bruce. Out in front of a changeup. Jay Bruce signaled in a run in the first. Grounded out to Zobrist, short right field his last time up. He's opening this 3-game series against the Reds tonight. A night game tomorrow and a day game here on Wednesday. Rays will have Thursday off, and then the St. Louis Cardinals will come in. David Price against Johnny Cueto tomorrow night. Now there is a good pitching matchup. Strike at the knees. 1-2. Price and Cueto tomorrow night. First pitch is set for 7:10. We'll be with you at 6:30 on Sun Sports. 1-2 pitch. He got him. Got him with a breaking ball. Swinging third strike. 2 up, 2 down.
Another quality off-speed pitch here by Jeremy Hellickson. He throws his curveball right over the plate. Just drops it below the zone.
Well, 7 strikeouts, 4 by changeup and 3 by curveball.
Those are his put-away pitches. This one right here, Jay Bruce sees that as a ball out over the plate down. He's got to protect. Good late depth. Closes him out.
Now Johnny Gomes. Takes the pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes. His first time, and the last time up in the 4th inning, he hit the first pitch, what happened to be a curveball off the C ring, the 3rd ring out from the center. The ball fell back onto the playing surface, but a ball hitting the C or D ring in fair territory is a home run, and for Gomes, that was his 11th home run of the year. They're persistent. That also could be a target out there in deep left center. A 2-2 and a swing and a miss on a fastball. Hellickson strikes out the side. 1-2-3 go the Cincinnati Reds. 4-0 Reds. weekend of American and National League teams battling it out in interleague play. The Rays and the Reds. Speaking of interleague, let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question, which is all about interleague play. What would be the Rays' best interleague record in a single season? They're 9-3 this year. They went 15-3 in 2004. They're down by 4 as they open the home half of the 5th tonight. John Jaso leads off, and the pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. For the Rays, winners in Houston yesterday. They used 21 players in that game and won 14-10. Courtesy of our statistician Rick Odioso, the only previous time that a Tampa Bay team won by a 14-10 score was October 7th, 2001, when the Bucks beat the Packers 14-10. Mike Alstott went 39 yards for a touchdown in the 4th quarter of that one, and the Buccaneers beat the Packers 14-10. Well, that was the score for the Rays over Houston yesterday on the road.
So with the Rays winning that ball game yesterday, 14-10, using 21 players, who played both ways?
I know you had to have, at least one. 3-2 now.
What was that? The 3rd longest game in Houston Astro history for 9 innings.
For 9 innings, yep. Jaso grounds out. Take a look at the upcoming Rays schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Hey, more interleague tomorrow night against the Reds, and then here on Wednesday afternoon, the Cardinals are in. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Rays, of course, hit the road again. Minnesota and New York.
Yeah, this is a big stretch of ball games. This Cincinnati ball club can swing the bats. We've seen that already here in the early going.
Sam Fole thinking about trying to bunt his way on, and Scott Rowland already in at 3rd.
The St. Louis Cardinals coming in. They're looking to continue to fight and scratch to stay in the NL Central. Top of that.
And a strikeout starting play today. The Cardinals were running 2nd behind Milwaukee, 3 out. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati 4 back.
And then, of course, that road trip you were talking about, Dwayne. You go to Minnesota. They've kind of cooled off a little bit, but then right into New York for 4 right before the All-Star break. So this is a big couple of weeks here for the Rays.
Yeah, the Twins, they were red hot. Now they've lost 5 in a row.
Got hit with the injury bug again. You've got Justin Morneau's going to be out. Delman Young was injured the other day. They just cannot get their full squad out on the field healthy at once.
So the Rays have these games left with the Reds and the Cardinals here at home. And as we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, and we do,
obviously,
you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. 3-2 the count to Sam Fole. Ground ball chopped to 2nd. It's Phillips and his throw to 1st. A couple of ground ball outs here in the 5th inning against Mike Leake.
And that's when you know he's good. When he's having a good ball game, he'll get a ton of ground balls because, like we said, he's got the good sinker, he's got the cutter, he gets you reaching, then he gets you trying to bring your hands in quick. When he's on, you just don't find a comfort level. You don't get a lot of extension. If you extend too far, he'll jam you.
Well, he got 2 ground ball outs in the 3rd. He got 2 ground ball outs in the 4th. And he has 2 ground ball outs here in the 5th inning already. And a foul ground ball off the bat of Brignac, strike 1.
You know, where he was throwing that cutter in on the lefties early in the game, he's starting to backdoor it a little bit, getting some rollovers that way.
Little tap, first base side. That is a fair ball. Brignac racing by Leake. Leake tried to put the tag on him with that outstretched glove hand. And a little base hit by Brignac. Just fair. Dusty Baker wants to get a little closer explanation from Chad Fairchild.
Well, he gets the slide here and then the reach back. See Rid Brignac coming inside the baseline a little bit, trying to avoid the tag, the slide, and then the reach back for the tag. He misses them. Here's your get Brignac trying to get out of the way there.
So Brignac is aboard. The Rays pick up their third hit. Here's Johnny Damon. Pitch inside. You know, it occurred to me that Baker might have been talking with Fairchild about that runner's lane, you know, going up the first base line. But here's the deal on that. And I'm sure Fairchild said to him, if that was the conversation, he said, hey, he wasn't in the runner's lane. He said, yeah, but your pitcher was. If he won't let him in there, he's got to go somewhere.
What would you rather do? Exactly. You take a 40-foot base hitter, he can step right on your pitcher's back. You name it.
Over to first, and Brignac is back in. Yeah, you see that play called sometimes when there's a throw down there. That runner is struck by a thrown ball and he was not in the runner's lane. Well, then that's a different case. 2 balls and a strike to count. Right there's the hard evidence of where Leak sprawled across that first base line, including the runner's lane. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cincinnati scored a couple runs in the first. They added 2 runs in the 4th inning. The Rays have yet to score. The Rays have left 3 men on base, 2 in scoring position. Brignac back in, and here's the thing with Leak. He can be quick to first. He has a couple pickoffs this year. Sliding catch. Jay Bruce in right field catches that ball to retire the side. The Rays leave another man. We've completed 5 tonight at Tropicana Field. Opening game of the series, and the Reds lead the Rays 4-0. Subway, eat fresh. Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health. And by Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. From Tropicana Field, this game moves into the 6th inning. 94 pitches for Hellickson so far tonight. There's Ramon Hernandez lifting a fly ball straight away center. He sent Upton back to the wall in the 2nd inning. Not so far this time. And BJ makes the catch, 1 away. Drew Stubbs up here. A couple of strikeouts on the night. Swung and missed a curveball for strike 3 in the 2nd. Missed a changeup for strike 3 in the 4th. There's a bunt and he pops it foul. That's going to be over the screen. Eight strikeouts and a walk. 4 runs, 3 earned on 7 hits allowed by Hellickson. Pop foul is going to be out of play. 0-2. Ramos busy in the bullpen now. The Rays. The pitch is down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, Stubbs has 321 at bats. He struck out 107 times. So that's 1 every 3 at bats.
He's far ahead of the pace tonight. 2 out of 2.
Yeah, that's going to skew our statistical breakout of that. We're going to have to get Todd on that to see what happens if he strikes out 3 times in 27 consecutive games. What pace would he be on? 2-2 the count to the Cincinnati center fielder. It's in the dirt. They lays off. Full count. How about that? Look at the strikeout leaders in the National League.
They're running away with it. 107 strikeouts.
This is Brignac, and the throw to first. He beat the play. Stubbs has himself a base hit.
Well,
he can get down that line.
Yes, he can. His closing speed was impressive because Reed Brignac did everything that he could. He made a nice throw. He got enough on it, as much as you could, putting his body in this position. But look at that. He closes, I mean, a long strider. That's some good hustle and some good speed. And a good call.
Joe West concurred. So here's the shortstop, Paul Yadish. Yeah, that's kind of what makes Stubbs interesting. Here's a guy who has power, strikes out a ton, and he can fly.
Well, he's done enough to impress. You continue to run him out there with that many strikeouts. But yeah, that speed was impressive because I thought Reed Brignac, the way that he charged that ball, even though it was over in the hole in the backhand, he does a nice job of getting a lot on that throw in situations like that. And I thought that was going to be good enough. But Drew Stubbs with really closed into first base quickly.
1 ball, no strikes, the count. Liner into right. Joyce is there to make the catch. You know, that's one of the interesting things about interleague baseball. You know, and the verdict is still out in that conversation. Some fans love it, and some people just detest the idea of interleague baseball. But you do get a chance to see not only stars but young players, and you know, Stubbs would be one. It's an interesting combination of challenges and talents that he has, because we can see right there he can fly. And that's interesting to see that. Having said that, one of the problems I think with the schedule, even inside your own league, is just those 1-1 series and you're done. You know, I don't think you see enough of opposing players at home or on the road for fans really to get to know what those players can and cannot do. And I think that's a challenge with the way the schedule's set up today. You want to know the count to Fred Lewis, you know, you'll get a team in here. You see Cincinnati, and who knows when you're going to see them again. But inside your own inside your own league, if they're out of your division, you know, that's 2/3 of the league that you're not going to get to know as well as you'd like to get to know them as a fan. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Lewis. 2-0. And I think part of the allure and the fun of coming to the ballpark and following a team and a league is to have obviously your own opinion, because baseball fans, sports fans across the border, they're going to be opinionated. They're going to have opinions about every player and manager and so forth. Just good to be able to see them more than one series a year in April, and then you never see them. So you see him again next year for one series. Stubbs is safe. He got in there on the steal. That's his 23rd stolen base, so we see some more of his speed.
23rd stolen base, 26 attempts. He's very good picking his spots. And there's the sweep tag by Brignac. He tries to sell it. It comes up a little empty on that tag. A lot of times that's good enough. Not with Angel Hernandez.
No, and he was so far in front of the bag and had to take the ball back that Hernandez is not going to give that to him.
No.
2-1 count to Lewis. Fouls pitch back. 2-2.
Well, yeah, and going back to what you were talking about, you think Chicago White Sox, done.
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians, done.
Sure.
You know, that was early in the year when you were done with those two teams.
You don't get a chance to see them nearly enough. And that, you would hope, would be in the discussion of potential realignment that they've talked about. You know, there were discussions about the Houston team going to the American League. Talk about Arizona gladly going to the American League. And some discussion about the Rays going to the National League. 2-2 the count to Lewis.
Rays pitchers are all for that.
Oh, yeah. They love to swing those bats.
Yes, they do.
Count holding at 2-2 on Fred Lewis.
Bottom line is, any way they do it, it's, you know, like you said, a lot of opinions, give and take. If you go back to that balanced schedule, then the people that love interleague, sorry about it. You want interleague, then you have the issues that you were just talking about. So
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Lewis. Stubbs in scoring position. Foul ball back. I'll tell you, this is another one of those situations in this game where, you know, right now it's 4-0, and the Reds, with that steal of second, moving a man into scoring position, trying to make it 5-0. And with the Rays struggling to score runs at home, I mean, they're coming off this road trip where they just scored a ton of runs. But so far tonight, through 5, they've reverted back to the problems they've had here at home with offense.
averaged almost 7 runs a game on the road.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Lewis missed the fastball. Boom, a fastball up and got him. Bottom of the 6th coming. It's still 4-0. Phillips with a double to center field scored Fred Lewis. Jay Bruce singled home Phillips to make it 2-0. Home run off the catwalk in the 4th inning, struck by Johnny Gomes. A base hit by Phillips, driving in his 2nd run, scored the shortstop Paul Yanish. Meanwhile, Mike Leake has not given the Rays much of an opportunity. They've stranded 4. 2 of those men in scoring position. He's given up 3 hits, a double to Zobrist, a double to Joyce, and an infield hit to Brignac. And here's Ben Zobrist to open the bottom of the 6th inning. Taking a pitch too low. 1 ball and no strikes. Cues it. Foul. It's 1-1. 1 walk allowed by Leake. That was in the 4th inning. 2 outs. Joyce doubled, and then Kochman walked. And that's really been it. Zobrist picking up his 26th double of the year. And there's a shot headed toward the corner and right. It'll be 1 hop into the wall, and a good carom by Bruce. The throw will not be in time, and another 2-base hit for Ben Zobrist. So a leadoff double, and we'll see if that will get the Rays started. 3 of their 4 hits, doubles tonight.
Well, 3rd time through the lineup, coming right through the middle. A cutter that ends up right out over the heart of the plate. Ben Zobrist, boy, nice swing on that. Hits a rocket shot into right field. A good carom there for Jay Bruce, but Ben Zobrist hustling all the way, gets in safely, and the Rays got something going here.
27 doubles for Zobrist now. Adrian Gonzalez has 25. So Ben 2 up on him. Devin Longoria takes a pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Two 2-0. Leake approaching the mid-80s in pitch count. And he misses low. 3-0 the count. Strike. 3-1. Matt Joyce on deck.
That good sinker down and away. The one that Did not get called a strike on Casey Kochman. Very similar pitch gets called on Evan.
And Evan takes ball 4. So the Rays put the first 2 hitters on base. That double by Zobrist, the first time the Rays have put the leadoff hitter aboard in any one inning. And now a walk follows to Longoria.
Well, experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club features an upscale full-menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com to purchase tickets or for more information.
It's the great thing about the Rays experience. There's always more.
Sometimes much more.
Yep. The intrigue of more. It's what makes it so much fun.
And it's what keeps you coming back.
And we always do. Here's Matt Joyce. He shoots one foul. The Rays trying to do a little getting back into this game and maybe trying to pull a comeback themselves.
Well, great opportunity here. First and second, nobody out. Starting to get towards that back end of the game. And you're right in the heart of the lineup.
1-1 the count. Joyce had a double his last time up. He had a pinch hit double in that wild game in Houston yesterday. Fouls it out of play. Straight back. It's 1-2. You did see some action in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Sam LeCure is up. The Rays start to get a little action in their pen as well. A 1-2 count. And an in. 2-2. Ramos had been up for the Rays prior. Cesar Ramos, and he's joined by J.P. Howell.
That's not something that you see very often. 2 lefties warming up together in the bullpen.
You know, when J.P. is right, and he's coming back from that shoulder surgery, there have been times when Madden would see him sometimes in that right-hander's role against either lefties or righties. Two the count on Joyce. Pretty close right there, and that's ball 3. Full count to Matt Joyce.
Yeah, if that missed, that wasn't by much. Coming hard down and in. Now you force him to throw a pitch out over the plate. Full count. Don't want to walk the bases loaded. Matt Joyce should see something pretty good to hit here.
That came in the 8th leading hitter in the American League. Zobrist at second on the double. Longoria at first on the walk. 3-2 the count to Matt Joyce. He bounces this one foul. So we'll see it again on 3-2. We're in the 6th. Week worked 6 innings in his last outing against the Yankees. Gave up 4 runs on 5 hits in 6 innings. No runs, 4 hits so far tonight, and 5+. 3-2 again, and a foul ball right in behind the catcher Hernandez and the plate umpire Chad Fairchild.
Now he keeps trying to come in there with the slider, get Matt Joyce to swing over the top of it. There it is. It's a good look at it. Just not enough depth on that pitch. Didn't drop enough, and Matt Joyce is able to catch just the top part of the baseball and stay alive.
Two again. And a shot lifted toward left center field. Over for it is Lewis to make the catch. Now a tag at second base. A tag at second as Zobrist goes to third, and Longoria ran past Zobrist. And so he's going to be out, and the Rays will lose an out and a base runner, and here is another look.
Zobrist going back to tag, and Evan is still running. Runs right by him. Angel Hernandez was all over that. You see it right there, the call. Boy, oh boy.
Well, a base running mistake by the Rays, and instead of having runners at least at first and third and one out, it's third base and 2 outs now. The Rays make a costly mistake. So Longoria passes Zobrist on the base paths.
And what makes that perplexing is that ball, Evan Longoria, that's happening in front of him. He can see Fred Lewis getting to that ball.
There's a strike to Casey. 2-1. And a well hit ball into left center field. But the Rays lose a big opportunity right there. Broken bat, a roller to second. Phillips with a pickup and a throw to first, and the Rays do not score. They leave only one. Trail 4-0.
Six, our text poll brought to you by Autoway. Who's Hellickson's biggest competition for the American League Rookie of the Year? Mark Trumbo, Eric Hosmer, Michael Pineda, Zach Britton. Text your votes to 789-789. They turn it over to Cesar Ramos. And here's Joe Madden about how everybody has to contribute out of the bullpen.
We got to get everybody involved. If we're going to win this thing, which we plan on doing, we have to make sure that all the relief pitchers are involved. You just can't lay it on one or two guys. We got to get Joe back. We got to get JP pitching like he can. Cruzer's coming on a little bit right now. Russell's come on. We got to get Cesar back to where he had been. I have a lot of faith in all these guys, and I believe that they're going to pitch again at a very high standard this year. Sometimes you go through a bump in the road, and we did, but we were able to weather it well.
It's been a lot of Kyle Farnsworth on that recent road trip, and Joe looking for some other contributions. Gentlemen?
Well, he's going to go to the bullpen here in the 7th inning. Cesar Ramos will get the call in relief of Jeremy Hellickson. Brandon Phillips leads off the inning. And the the first pitch is a high fastball, and Ramos has had a little command issue and control problems lately, and you can see the bullpen on that road trip not nearly what Joe Maddon's looking for.
No, and that's why Joe said, hey, we're able to weather it. You know, they didn't pitch very well on the road, still went 5-1. So that's very encouraging. But this is one of the guys you got to get back. And you're right, Dwayne. The command issues are coming from, and you don't know, maybe something, a little mechanical adjustment that needs to be made. But right now, Cesar Ramos is not letting that ball fly with conviction like he did early in the season, where he just would rear back and let it fly almost like he's aiming the ball and he's losing velocity and command. Like that right there. I mean, that's a strike, fastball, 86 miles an hour. This is a guy we're used to seeing in the low 90s.
Yep.
And standing tall and firing that ball with confidence. And right now, you're just seeing a guy who's almost playing darts, just trying to get it there, throw a strike. Doesn't have nearly the same stuff.
2-1 the count on a line drive into left. So a base hit for Phillips.
And actually, what's alarming is, unless the radar gun is broke, is just the fact that the velocity is so far down. I mean, we've seen him in that 91 to 93 range. This pitch catching a lot of plate right out over the middle. Brandon Phillips just laces it. You just see, just almost like he's just aiming the ball in there, not letting it fly.
Joey Votto. .92 on that.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, then let's go.
And you know, sometimes, as you're well aware, you'll see that fluctuation because it turns out to be a mechanical issue. It's a foul ball, hit him on the foot while he was still in the batter's box.
And sometimes it's the reigning National League Most Valuable Player that will get that increase in velocity.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it can be, but boy, these last two pitches compared to the ones that he threw to Brandon Phillips, I mean, much more aggressive with the body, with the arm. That's what you want out of Cesar Ramos.
The ground ball, that's going to get through the other way. Base hit into left. Phillips stops at second, and Votto has a base hit against the lefty.
Well, taking advantage of the shift, you had Reed Brignac pulled way over up the middle. And this right here, and you're trying to put the ball in play. There's Reed Brignac right here. And that ball has hit right to the shortstop position, but because of the shift, it's able to sneak out into left field.
So the first 2 men are aboard. Scott Brolin, the right-handed hitting third baseman up here. Pitch is inside. Adam Russell is up in the Rays bullpen. Hellickson gone after 6 innings. He made 110 pitches in this outing. There's Russell. Ground ball, second base, and it gets away from Zobrist and into center field. Phillips will score. Over to third base goes Votto. Rowland is aboard on the air, and that was the double play ball the Rays were looking for. Instead, another run scores to make it 5-0. Nobody out, and runners now at first and third.
Well, there's nothing to say about this. I mean, this is a tailor-made double play ball that gets, not only is it hit right at Ben Zobrist, but it's able to sneak its way right between his legs and get out into the outfield. Just a complete whiff. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that as far as turning a double play. A little shuffle to Brignac, 2 outs, you got a chance to get out of the inning.
Here's Jay Bruce. He pops one to third. He's going to be caught by Longoria. That's the first out. So one away with men at first and third. Johnny Gomes is due, and Joe Maddon comes out of the dugout. He's going to go for the right-hander. He wants Russell. We'll be back in a moment.
first and third, one out. FoxSportsFlorida.com has the latest news surrounding all of your favorite Florida sports teams. Log on for post-game coverage of tonight's matchup. Read about Evan Longoria's resurgence and find a recap of the Gators in the College World Series. It's all on FoxSportsFlorida.com. Log on now.
Here at the Trop, the Rays are going to stop the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds have built a 5-0 lead. The Rays have committed a couple of errors in this game defensively. They both cost the Rays runs. Here's Johnny Gomes now to bat against Adam Russell with men at first and third and one out. The fastball is up. Hellickson gave up 4 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits. He struck out 9 and walked 1 and gave up the home run in the 4th inning to Gomes. 110 pitches for Hellickson tonight. This ball by him. Hellickson with 9 strikeouts. He had 10 strikeouts against the Angels back on April the 6th. 9 tonight, but 4 runs, 3 earned. Oh, that one got him on the hand. Gomes hit on the hand, and the Rays think that it hit his bat. And Madden's going to argue this point.
Yeah, I think it did too. That reaction from Johnny Gomes was a little bit late. And the way that the ball came off, if that was the hand, I got to believe that the conversation wouldn't be as, or that I take those batting gloves off. Here you go. This will give you a great look. Right off the butt end of the bat. And then the reaction. He thought about it. There was a delayed reaction. That ball hit the bat.
Yeah, look at his eyes. It's in his eyes.
They don't lie.
Yeah, it hit the.
If that ball comes off
of the bat,
if it hit his wrist and it came shooting off the bat that far, that thing would be in pieces. I mean, the way that the ball came off, that's not even questionable. If that was the wrist, they'd be helping to pick that thing up right now.
So the bases are going to be loaded on this. Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, if balls come off body parts with that kind of trajectory and that kind of speed, there's cast involved.
Yeah, Ramon Hernandez takes a strike. Well, it's a force play at any base now.
Looking at the positive. I like it. Need something. Not a whole lot to cheer about tonight if you're a Rays fan.
1 strike to count on Hernandez. Low and outside, 1-1. Hernandez 0 for 3. Hit a couple fly balls to center, and that first one back in the 2nd inning sent Upton all the way to the wall. Chopped to short. Brainiac will step on the bag, take his time, and throw to first to complete the double play. And with a force at any base, the Rays get the double play to get out of the inning. 1 run in for Cincinnati. 7th inning stretch, and it's 5-0 Cincinnati. at Tropicana Field. This game so far has been all Cincinnati. The Rays committing a couple of errors, leading to a pair of unearned Cincinnati runs. 5 runs, 3 earned. Hellickson worked 6, gave up 4, 3 earned. Ramos, a third of an inning, gave up 1 unearned. And now Sam LeCure will follow Mike Leake to the mound after 6 innings of work by the Cincinnati starter. So LeCure on for the 15th time. 27-year-old right-hander. B.J. Upton will welcome him in. Swings and misses. Strike 1, a slider to start Upton.
Not a very nice welcome. That was a snappy little slider there with some good depth on it. Really good sweeping action all the way across the plate.
Two. Jay coming off a very good road trip and a 3-run home run in the first inning in Houston in the game yesterday, and that just set off all the scoring.
Now
Rays went on to win it 14-10.
And that was smart hitting. 2-0 count against J.A. Happ, like you were talking about, Dwayne. Could only command the 1 pitch, and he sat on it, didn't miss.
Away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leake worked 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs. Struck out 3 and walked 2. 99 pitches for Mike Leake. And strike 3 called. Upton takes the fastball. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, LeCure's got the fastball and he's got that sweeping slider. He's been going away with that slider, and here he comes right to the top of the zone. Right on the outside corner. And there's the ring up.
Here's John Jaso. Pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Slow, 2-0. Rays trail 5-0. Dodgers lead the Twins 5-0 in Minnesota. LA hitting in the 5th inning. It's 3-0. Tigers beat the Blue Jays 4-2. And the strike. 3-1. And that's a strike. So he comes back and runs the count full after falling behind 3-0. LeCure, also out of the University of Texas. Drafted in 05. There's a shot. One hop the wall in the center. And Jaso has a 2-base hit. The Rays pick up hit number 5 tonight. 4 have been doubles.
full count fastball that tails its way right back to the middle of the plate. Jaso puts a nice swing on it. Gets a good carry over the head of Stubbs. Up and over the wall.
Now Sam Fold against the right-hander. Sam has grounded out to second base on 2 occasions. A breaking ball is in there. Curveball. Well, the Rays tried to get something going in the 6th and literally ran their way out of it. Longoria passed Zobrist on the base paths. One ball, one strike. Pop foul. That's going to carry out a play. And it holds the count at a ball, 2 strikes. McCure just recently off the disabled list. Of a strained right forearm. Ground ball to second. Phillips makes the play, and over to third base goes Jaso. 2 gone. As the Rays try to get on the board, it'll be up to Reed Brignac. Reed got the infield hit on the little dribbler up the first base side in the 5th. 1 for 2. Rays have left 5 men on base tonight through the first 6 innings. Jaso's at third right now, and there's a line drive right to the shortstop. That will retire the side. We're through 7. The Rays are down 5-0.
Stuart Sternberg in the house today. He'll be around for the 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds. And beforehand, he was down on the field with Mayor Bob Buckhorn of the city of Tampa. There they are discussing things. And then Stu said, you know what? I better warm this guy up. He's throwing out the ceremonial first pitch, so he gets the catcher's mitt. And Mayor Buckhorn actually showed a really good arm. He threw a strike, a bullet strike to Elliott Johnson on the first pitch. And with Stuart Sternberg in town, we will catch up with him during tomorrow's telecast as he is here for the 3-game series. Mayor Buckhorn with a ceremonial first pitch before the game. Gentlemen?
Yeah, not only did he warm him up, but he put him through a little infield practice, throwing him some ground balls, apparently.
Comebackers, you never know.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. Well, hey, that's the name of the game with the way the Rays run this operation. You got to be prepared for almost anything. That's the way they've put the game on the field. Adam Russell out there now, the Rays' third pitcher. He got the double play ball in the 7th inning. Facing Drew Stubbs here. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Giannis to be next, and then Lewis. 2-1. It's been a frustrating night for the Rays offensively. They're 0 for 7 with men in scoring position. They made that big base running error. Made a couple of errors defensively. Outside, it's 3-1. Andy Sonnenstein starts to get loose down the right field line. Count is full. Mid-90s fastball, and Stubbs took a rip. Well, Stubbs has struck out twice and reached on the infield hit. Stole a base. Foul ball, that's going to be out of play. 5-10-0 for Cincinnati. 0-5-2 for the Rays. And ball 4. Leadoff walk here in the 8th.
We'll start your weekend at Friday Fest, presented by Captain Morgan, on Friday, July the 1st, when the Rays host the Cardinals. The first 10,000 fans will get a collectible Matt Joyce t-shirt presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets now.
Giannis. Pitch is too low. Ball and no strikes. The Rays and the Cincinnati Reds again tomorrow night, and a day game on Wednesday. As we've heard already, the Blue Jays lost to Detroit 4-2. Johnny Peralta's triple in the 8th broke a 2-2 tie. The Rays keep an eye on New York. They're going to entertain Milwaukee starting tomorrow. The Yankees and the Brewers. Pitch, and Giannis pounds it back, a fastball. It's now 1-1. And Boston will be in Philadelphia tomorrow. That's going to be Beckett and Lee. So pretty good pitching matchup there. Two balls and a strike. Hellickson worked 6. Ramos a third. Russell got credit for 2/3 of an inning. Pitched an inning yesterday. Runner takes off and a ground ball to third. Longoria looks it into the glove, and now Stubbs hits to third, and he is out on the throw back to Brignac, covering the bag. Well, Stubbs trying to use his speed and the element of surprise And the Rays actually wind up turning that into a double play. Throw back to Brenyak covering the bag. Here's how it begins.
Now the throw over to Kochman, and then he comes right off the bag with the bullet over to Reed Brenyak, and a nice job by Brenyak being able to come up with that, make the play on the one hopper, and lay the tag.
Well, this is the kind of play that we had seen on the road, and frankly, the Rays had been a bit lethargic tonight. But this is the kind of play that Joe Madden sees this team making.
And that's the kind of play that you wish you'd have seen in the second or third inning tonight. Yeah. Get that dugout going.
That's right.
Get a little fire in their belly.
Fred Lewis now, strike to him. And he sends a fly ball to left. Bold is going to have to go back. Still going over the shoulder. He got it. Sam Bold over the shoulder. And then a slide on the warning track out there into the base of the wall. Well, Sam made another one. Interesting. Wow.
What a catch. I mean, you thought that right there, he cranks it up and over the shoulder like a wide receiver in arena football.
The eighth, and Sam Fold does it again.
Well, Lewis puts a charge into this, and Sam Fold right there is where he finds it again. He gets a little bit turned around, finds it, and then cranks it up and makes an unbelievable over-the-shoulder catch before going into the wall. That's some good concentration and a great play.
Johnny Damon will lead off the home half of the eighth, and he takes a curveball for a strike. Chris Heisey takes over in left for Cincinnati as this game moves into the bottom half of the eighth. It's 1-1. Damon 0 for 3 tonight. Center field. Stubbs will go back, still back, and makes the catch. Got to the track and began to backpedal. Made the catch a couple steps from the wall. Johnny Damon's the first out in the eighth. Leake worked 6. LeCure worked the 7th. Gave up the double to Jaso. 1 out, and here's Ben Zobrist. Ben hits a roller over the mound. Shortstop Yanish takes care of it. So Ben is 2 for 4.
Yeah, a little bit of a shift over there on Ben Zobrist, and Giannis able to come over there and make that play on the second base side of second base.
Now Evan Longoria. Evan is popped out and grounded out. He walked in the 6th. Swings and misses. Strike 1. And then in the 6th inning with Zobrist at second and Evan at first, Matt Joyce hit that fly ball back into left field that was eventually caught by Lewis. Zobrist is going to go back to tag and pitch up and in here to Longoria. And Evan passed Zobrist around second base as Ben is going back to tag. So the Rays lost an opportunity there.
Well, this fastball just gets away from the cure. Hernandez wants that ball down and away. It ends up and in.
And a fly ball lifted into left center field. Dicey going back and is there in front of the 370 marker, making the catch. The Rays are out 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. 5-0 Cincinnati.
Cast is presented by the authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
5-0 Cincinnati as this game moves into the 9th inning. Andy Sonnenstein will make an appearance, the 4th Rays pitcher. He's on for the 14th time. Brandon Phillips, who's had a very good night. He's 3 out of 4. He's driven in 2 runs and has scored twice. And he leads off by taking the first pitch up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Cincinnati Reds, who came into this game having dropped 6 of their last 9. Ground ball and another base hit. Phillips with a 4-hit night. He is 4 for 5. The Reds have pretty much dominated this game. Well, they put a man on with nobody out.
Get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Available dates are going fast. Swag now to make your private group reservation behind the Rays bullpen by calling 888-FAN-RAYS, or you can go online at raysbaseball.com.
Joey Votto, 1 for 4. Pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Votto's hit came in the 7th inning. At the knees. The Rays, everybody shaded to the right side. Longoria is still on the shortstop side of second base, but he's shaded up the middle.
Just handing him almost the entire left side of the infield.
And a bouncing ball. That's Kochman out at second and back to Sonnenstein out at first. The Rays turn the double play. That's a double play, 3-5-1. Longoria over there to cover the bag. Started by Kochman. Longoria in the middle and Sonnenstein on the backside.
Well, rolled over, and Joey Votto is not running out of the box at all. That's what allows the Rays to turn this quite easily. Kochman has to come get it, gets it to Longoria. Plenty of time.
Scott Rowland. 1 strike the count. Pop foul. That's going to be back and out of play. 0-2. Phillips, who had opened with a base hit, he raced on the double play. Two strikes to count. That hit by Phillips, as we mentioned, his 4th, and that equals a career high. First time he's done it this year, the 9th time in his career. $5-11-0 now for Cincinnati. 0-5-2 for the Reds. There's Brandon Phillips. And a chopper by the mound to second. Zobrist handles it. And the Reds are out of the 9th inning with a hit. Nobody left and a double play in the mix. Bottom of the 9th coming. Rays down by 5. Tonight brought to you by your local Southern Ford dealers, by Checkers, Feast On, and by Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife and Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. We go to the bottom of the 9th here in the opening game of this series. Rays are down 5-0. They've stranded 6 men tonight. And Nick Massett out of St. Petersburg takes over. He becomes the third pitcher of the night, making his 39th appearance. And here's Joyce. Matt Joyce takes a pitch outside, a ball and no strikes.
You can see Massett's got power stuff for a strikeout an inning.
Massett originally drafted by the Texas Rangers. Saw some big league action with Texas and then with the Chicago White Sox. And now the Cincinnati Reds. And there's a strike. Fastball in the mid-90s. Didn't take him long to hit that spot. He was in 82 games last year with Cincinnati.
He's well on that pace this year.
Count is 3-1. He's been an important part of their bullpen the last couple years.
You see what makes Massett impressive is not only the velocity, but how about that late movement on that fastball? 95 miles an hour with that kind of sink and run.
3-2. And a liner. That's going to be a fair ball and head back into the right field corner. Bruce will have to go get it. Joyce has another double. That's his second two-base hit tonight.
Have you ever seen a team with so many doubles in a ball game that hasn't scored?
I'll tell you, the Rays now with 6 hits. Zobrist has 2 doubles. Joyce has 2 doubles. Jaso has a double, and the only hit that wasn't a double was that little squibber for an infield hit for Brignac.
And still looking for their first run, but Matt Joyce, maybe this is the inning, get something going. A pitch out over the plate, shoots it down into the corner.
Now Casey Kochman. Casey's 0 for 2 with a walk. Swing and a miss. Well, that pitch had some good action down on it.
A little off speed. Change up, split action. 5-6 miles an hour off the fastball.
Number back to the mound. Massett's throw to first, and that takes care of Kochman. The old Joyce at second. Francisco Cordero down there right now, sort of leisurely spending his time on the bullpen mound. Runner at second with 1 out. B.J. Upton will be the hitter. B.J. lines it into left. It's going to be caught by the left fielder Heisey. So 2 outs. The Rays 1 out away from being shut out. John Jaso will be the hitter. Rays have been shut out 5 times this year. Baltimore twice, Texas once, Seattle once, and Boston the most recent on the Beckett 1-hitter. There's a foul ball, and that moves George Hendrick out of the line of fire. Strike 1. Beckett beat the Rays 3-0 on 1 hit on the 15th of June. The Rays have been shut out 4 times in June, starting with the first day of June in the Texas series when Lewis and Felice shut them out 3-0 on 5 hits. And that's strike 2. So now they're 1 out and 1 strike away from being shut out for the 5th time this month and the 6th time all year. Rightly so. Fouls it away. 6 Rays hits. No runs. The 0-2. Down and in. The Rays have gone 0 for 9 with men in scoring position tonight.
Well, that's exactly how you have that many doubles in a ball game and not score.
Mike Leake, the right-hander, pitched 6. Sam LeCure 2. Nick Massett out there working the 9th. Ground ball to the right side. Votto's going to handle it by himself, and this game is over. The Rays are shut out on 6 hits. Took 2 hours and 52 minutes to play this game. Leake will get the win. His record goes to 7-4. Hellickson will be the losing pitcher, dropping his record to 7 wins and 7 losses before 19,891. So it's a 5-0 final. Cincinnati takes the first game of the 3-game series. The Rays now 9 games over 500. They'll drop a half game back of both New York and Boston, 1 and 2. The Rays continue to run third in the AL East. Now for Brian Anderson and Todd Callis. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. See you next on Rays Live.